Hello, and thank you for joining the conversation around the water cooler, where we bring important topics to the Savannah community. And today's topic is peace building and why it's so important and how to do it. Today's guest is Executive Director of the Mediation Center of the Coastal Empire. She's also here to talk about the third annual Peace in the Park event coming up this Sunday at Daffin Park from 1 to 4. Jill, welcome to the water cooler.
Thank you, Marjorie. This is an awesome idea. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I wish we could have gotten you on sooner, but is it a couple days away? This is a good time to shout it out again. So, Jill, you are a proven leader in bridging divides and bringing together the Savannah communities. So, before we talk about the big event, what exactly is peace building?
Well, we like to say it's everything from conflict prevention to conflict resolution. So what that really means is there are so many different tools, techniques, strategies to really prevent conflict. And many people do that every day in their job. They do that when they wake up with their kids in the morning. And so the act of peace building, if we're going to be really intentional about it, makes us really pause and think, what do I really want at the end of the day? Or what do I really want my team to be feeling in the workplace? And so it gets us to be in that intentional mindset to say, if the people on my team wanted to come in every day, if they felt a sense of belonging, if they really knew the goals, and we were really doing a great job delivering to our customers or stakeholders, what would that be like? And it goes back to really just thinking through the values that people have and creating a team mindset. And so peace building can be at home, in the workplace, in the community, and it's a state of being really intentional about what you want to happen.
It seems like it's just a crucial part of society today that a lot of people don't have these skills to mediate, and your center does that, right? People can come in and get certified in it.
Yes. So we have a number of different, and we've been how to make this even easier, so that you don't have to actually become a full-fledged mediator. Yes, we definitely provide that class where you can become a registered mediator in Georgia or a community mediator, and that may take 4 days. But how can we make it a little bit easier for someone to say yes to that already has a very, very busy schedule? And so we have various workshops. We partner with businesses to figure out a way to just add a few more skills to their toolkit, let's say. So that can be 90 minutes, 4 hours, 2 days, just depending upon what the need is for the place. But yeah.
So reiterate
some skills.
So reiterate the importance of having peace in the business setting. And if somebody was interested in having the Mediation Center come out and help, what is the charge for that? Or is it a donation?
Okay. So you asked me a few things, and one is about the need, why. So we know, and some of the latest stats are that 49% of our employees in the workplace feel conflict. They feel some type of stressors. And generally that has to do with cultural differences, just differences, how people were raised, different communication skills brings on a feeling of stress. And we know that attrition, meaning turnover in the workplace, also comes about because of that conflict. And so there's a true return on investment when we can help people feel a sense of belonging, that they are appreciated and important to the business. But a lot of times that all has to do with these conflict styles. And so some of the training that we provide is about, creates a sense of awareness. So as an individual, how can I make a difference in the workplace and actually own the conflicts that I'm in, instead of maybe, let's say, complaining about them or thinking that it's others' fault. And so we always start with that, creating that sense of awareness. And that's basically a 2-hour workshop. And it's just, the cost is dependent upon the business, such as how many people are going to be in the
Sure.
class. So how many instructors we need to bring. But what I can say is that since we're a nonprofit, I can tell people that it is the best bargain in town and not just because of the cost, but also because of the experience of our instructors. So our instructors, we manage conflict all day long. So people are walking in our doors, they're calling us on the phone, and they're asking us to be an expert to help navigate a conflict situation. And it's really, our place of comfort. And we do it constantly. We know what questions to ask. And there's questions such as how to keep people safe. There's questions such as, what else may be going on in a person's life. What are the triggers? How best to facilitate the conflict? Is it a group workshop? It may not be, but we ask those questions because sometimes it's a journey, right? It's not like all a one and done. So it might be some side conversations and then a group conversation. The good thing is that it's always about people coming to some type of an agreement, some type of shared understanding about how they want their workplace to be different in the future. And it gives people hope. And I think that's what we want at
Absolutely.
the end of the day, whether it be for our family or in the workplace.
Businesses, if you're tuning into this, listen up to this, because it just takes one bad employee to create a lot of bad energy. And, it's so hard to find employees today that if you can contact Mediation Center and work on some of this, it really could help everybody in the office. So, yeah. So when you go in, like, what are some of the tips that you could tell people? Like, what are the keys for peace building?
So one of the things that we do with organizations is a conflict assessment. And so this is an actual tool that every team member can take. You've heard of the Myers-Briggs and other types of devices or tools, instruments. Well, this is a conflict instrument, and it helps people understand their personal conflict style.
Okay.
We make it super easy, and the gentleman that created this did, by actually saying, for these 5 conflict styles, using a metaphor for each of those. So, for example, some individual may find out that they're more of a turtle. This may be that someone avoids conflict, is their personal style or preference. It doesn't mean that they can't do other types of styles, but their preference is to be a turtle. And that may mean that when there's conflict, their preference would be to avoid it and go under their shell. Now, when is that turtle going to come out of their shell? It's when they feel threatened. It may mean that the relationship is really important to them, so it's worth it to come out and talk about it. It can also mean that that issue is just really, really important to them. So by someone understanding their own personal style and also understanding others and what are other options for managing conflict, they start to become more adaptable. And, my favorite saying always about the best leaders are the ones that most are able to adapt to the situation and what resources they have and how to get creative are our best leaders. And so if we're giving our team members, our employees, those skills, when it comes to conflict, it's helping them be able to better adapt and understand that there's other responses than, let's say, being a turtle or being a shark, right? So we're constantly talking about, our sharks are very competitive. And there's a definite place for that. If there's a place for being competitive, there's a place for, attacking, it seemed like, and, whether or not it be an attorney when they're representing their client, in sales and, wanting to meet a quota. There's those skills that are necessary. And so people will say, wait a minute, this is this quiz. I wanted to be a wise owl, which is very collaborative. But, we all have different needs at certain times with our jobs, and being able to adapt is the best thing that we can do for our employees, giving them those different skills. So that's one example of something that we do in the workplace. We often find too that right now, some of our managers just need more practice communicating and giving feedback. And so we actually call it the art of giving and receiving feedback, because it can be really challenging to give someone information or news that they really don't want to receive. But there's ways to do that. And the best way is by practicing. And so we also provide those sessions.
Very good. So what would you say the success rate is when people go through this type of training?
Yeah, well, very high. And it's all about framing it properly, because a lot of times communication is a skill, and we may feel like our ability to communicate doesn't seem like it's that good. But if the other person that we're having a conversation with is responding, then we are communicating. And so generally the communication, the increase in feelings of ability to communicate well will increase. A lot of the surveys is exceptional feedback. We do a lot of role plays in these sessions, because practice makes perfect. Even if, if it's throwing a curveball, how many you throw is going to, help your outcomes. So, and what we hear is that they love our training. That's the thing. This is the first time we weren't asleep, because we make it so interactive. It's a skill that people are hungry for. And
violence around the world. I mean, gosh, what would you say the top, I don't know, tip would be to help reduce tension and
the power of the pause. It's that simple, but can be that challenging.
Okay.
Because when we're, let's just say, in conflict, it's often because the other person is feeling in conflict and maybe providing us with a response, whether or not they be yelling, whether or not they be resentful. But there's a lot of negative emotion. And when we pause, there's a lot of things that can happen. One, it allows us to think, versus we're trying to talk through something. Let's just pause. We can think better. And we're also breathing a lot more, which is helping us relax a little bit. So the biggest tip, the biggest strategy, the best is to pause. And in that moment, we can do a lot of things. And that is actually one of our takeaways that we provide to everyone that attends our workshops, is a Power of the Pause bookmark that has different things to do in that moment. Observe, think, breathe, all of the important things in that moment, so that you really can have a more meaningful response versus just reacting.
So on this Sunday in Peace in the Park, will folks be able to come learn some of these things? Tell us, let's go ahead and talk about Peace in the Park this Sunday.
Yes, well, we're so excited. We're on day 98, Marjorie, of our 100 days of intentional peace building. So it's been an incredible 100 days. Yes, we are going to be able to practice some of this on Sunday. It is a day of fun, but we have some intentional spaces to have conversation. Yay, there's our peace builders from 2022. And we've got Liz Ann Roberts, we've got a youth peace builder, Mayor Johnson, Magic Mark. So exciting. This Sunday, we'll be honoring 7 peace builders on stage. We have 2 youth now. A middle school youth is our emerging peace builder, Patrick Finnegan. And then we also have Leah Spann from Savannah Early College as a youth peace builder. The other 5 are from different categories, let's say industries in the community. So everything from elected official to our legacy peace builder, first responder, and so on.
So this looks really fun. Are you guys going to do that again this year?
Yes. Backed by popular demand. So we make a human peace sign, and a drone will fly over and take this high resolution image for us in the video. And so after we honor the peace builders, we do a short walk on the west side of Daffin. And this natural roundabout on the west side of Daffin there just creates an amazing peace sign. And I would love just for everyone to come out and help us make this. Every year I'm thinking, oh my goodness, are we going to have enough people to make the peace sign? Because it actually takes a lot of people to do this. And so just thankfully, it really does. And we're always like, okay, a little bit more on this side. And we're really excited. The Chatham County Youth Commissioners are helping us set up the peace sign and then filter everyone into it this year. So we're excited to partner with Chatham County Youth Commissioners.
Very good. So tell us about who are the sponsors this year?
Yes. So Sumitsu coming in large this year. Sumitsu's amazing sponsor of the Mediation Center. We also have the Manili firm, Burgess Law Group, Heather Peliquin and Bank South. Ruby Weitzel is one of our board members, an amazing sponsor with her husband, Buzz. Bowen Falligant, very thankful for Bowen Falligant. And then we have Abby Dew and Dental Harbor, the law offices of Joe Steffen. We've got Hunter McLean, and then Lizanne Roberts and all of our resilient coastal Georgia stakeholders. Couldn't do it without them. And many of them will be resources in the park with their own tables. We also have Royal Restrooms, and we have a handicap accessible restroom this year, and thankful to them for helping sponsor. The Good Life is a sponsor. We also have For the Jewel and Bull River Handyman. If you need a handyman, Bull River is your person always.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola is providing us with beverages, which is amazing. And if you've been to Peace in the Park, you know that all the beverages in the swimming pools are free. So when you see a swimming pool with tea in there or water, please just grab one. And then John and Laura Lane McKinnon have provided the drone for the last few years. So we're really thankful to them because they do an amazing job with this drone. I mean, they do the drone through the park so everyone is visible. It's really, really nice having that footage later.
Absolutely. So here's the official, well, there's a couple of them. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So from 1 to 4, so go through the 3 hours. So what happens at 1 o'clock?
Yeah. So at 1 o'clock, we'll have seriously 30 different tables of vendors set up. So these are across the board, nonprofits and other organizations. There's going to be free flu shots if you're eligible for those. There's face painting. There's different art activities. There's places to register to vote. Molly Lieberman and Loop It Up is going to be out with some other youth activities. There's also going to be a game area with tug of war. We're kind of being silly with conflict with tug of war and, some giant Jengas, cornhole. We also have a stage set up. And so we're going to have some amazing DJ music with Doc Ock, and some other artists are going to be out. What I was talking about earlier with the courageous conversations, we're going to have 3 living rooms set up under the oak. Well, at 1:30, we also have a conversation on stage, and it is called The Urgency of Peace Building in Today's Times. And in the living rooms, those all start at 2 p.m. So 3 different conversations will start at 2 p.m. and you get to choose which one that you would like to participate in. Thanks to Goodwill, Habitat for Humanity, and the Salvation Army for donating our living room furniture so that people can really feel like they're just sitting around with new friends under the live oaks. So lots of different activities. And then at 3 p.m., we will start honoring our peace builders on stage, which then leads into the peace walk and peace sign. For food, we have vendors set up for food trucks. And then also we have a fire truck that's going to be out. That's always fun for the kids. And then we also have Chatham Narcotics joining us, and they have a trailer that's been made up into a youth's bedroom. So our positive peer influencers are going to be out with CNT, just talking about the importance of understanding substances. Sorry.
You guys have quite a lineup, and you and your team have done a great job of getting the word out with this. And so let's go over how they can just show up. It's free. The website is right down there. And the phone number is 912-248-4106.
Yes.
Yes. So very good. So we will see everybody this coming Sunday, 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock at Daffin Park. Parking's free. How many people do you think will be there?
We're expecting at least 500. So come out and join us so I can be right.
Yes.
So, yes,
or more.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And Marjorie, I just want to say thanks so much. Like, the media has been amazing.
Yeah. Allison rocked it. Totally.
Yeah. Well, everyone, seriously, from, all our local TV stations, Savannah Morning News,
It's so important. It is such an important topic. I mean, it's so important that, Rotary's even going to be starting a Rotary Club just focused on peace. So, I mean, this is come to age. This is really important.
Well, and I want to just say congratulations to Chatham County, because the Mediation Center here in Savannah is called frequently.
Wow.
To coach other community mediation centers to start.
Wow.
And I just want to acknowledge how Chatham County gives to help support the Mediation Center as a nonprofit. And the amount of conflict means, yes, we need more resources, but it also means that we're doing a lot of things right, because we're acknowledging the asset that we have. There's over 100 volunteers that have taken, that are on our roster to help mediate conflict. And so it's by more Chatham County members saying yes to these classes, and yes to treating this as an asset that, our youth are taking peer mediation training. And yes, we hear about the conflict, right? But
it's in the news every day.
But there's more and more people doing it right, that and you're going to see them on Sunday. We've got numerous youth groups that are coming out from DEEP, Savannah Youth Council, Savannah Youth Ambassadors, Chatham County Youth Commissioners. And so there's just a lot of groups that will be there. And I think it'll be really fun to see that there's so many kids making positive choices every day. And just because we hear about a few on the news, that is not the norm. It is not the norm.
Peace is such a big concept. And for us to say, we need to have peace. I mean, you actually have the tools and the skills to teach people and spread it out on how to create peace. And this needs to go everywhere, really. So thank you for what you do. It's wonderful.
Yay. Thank you, Marjorie. Thanks for shining a light on it. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. And we will see everybody on Sunday. Bye until then.